Well, we've reached that point here on our top 40 Husker player list as we've ranked Nebraska's top 40 players according to the HuskerOnline.com staff heading into fall camp. We are at the top 5. Sean Callahan, Robin Washut, Nate Klaus. We start off at number 5, linebacker Josh Banderas, who will be Nebraska's projected starting linebacker in the middle. He will represent the Huskers at Big Ten Media Days as well here later this month in Chicago. There are no doubt high hopes for Josh Banderas here going into his senior season. At number 4, Jordan Westerkamp. And Robin, no receiver at Nebraska has ever had 1,000 yards receiving. I think that's a big kind of milestone number that Jordan Westerkamp could really cement his legacy as Nebraska's most productive receiver ever in school history.
Well, I agree, and he's probably got the best chance without question of any receiver in that group, and that's just because of his consistency. I mean, he's not the most athletic guy, he's not the biggest guy, he's not going to burn anybody downfield. He just makes plays every time he steps out onto the field, and if he's able to put together the type of consistency production that he has over the course of his career going into his senior season, this could be the biggest year for him of all.
Well, then at number 3 on that offensive line, anchoring down the left side, he moved from right tackle to left tackle, Nick Gates.
And Nick Gates, the most important offensive lineman for Nebraska this year, anchoring that left side for Tommy Armstrong. And I think maybe one of the best offensive linemen in that entire group. When you talk about upside, as a redshirt freshman, did not play like a redshirt freshman at right tackle. Seems to really be, becoming more comfortable at that left side and becoming a guy who's an all-conference type of player.
Then at number 2, Nathan Gary. He has been a second or third team all-conference player each of the last 2 years as a sophomore and a junior. Nebraska's going to look for a bigger year out of him this year. I mean, he had kind of a year that was up and down, but there's no doubt Nathan Gary needs to be kind of a workhorse veteran, a guy that buys into this defense. He admitted last year that he wasn't all in at times. They need Nathan Gary to be all in. And then finally, no surprise, unanimously, guys, quarterback Tommy Armstrong, number 1 on our list. He received all 6 first-place votes. He is really the key, Robin, for this season, whether it's going to be kind of another 6-7 win year, maybe a 9-10 win type year.
Yeah, without question. I mean, this offense is only going to go as far as Tommy Armstrong takes them, and that's got to be him, making smart decisions. I mean, he's got the ability. We saw probably a flash of what he's going to be more like this coming season in that bowl game, kind of utilizing his legs a little bit more. But as always, with Tommy Armstrong, has been for the past 3 years, turnovers are going to be the key.
Well, I think, Nate, the other thing with Tommy is giving him the running game to support him. So many times in Big Ten play last year, they couldn't run the ball against the physical fronts like Wisconsin and Iowa and teams like that. Can they give Tommy that run support to keep him out of those 3rd and longs?
Yeah, improved offensive line should help there, and depth at that running back position should also help. And then, maybe mixing in his own running game there too. So I think that Tommy Armstrong is poised for a big year, an important year for Nebraska.
Well, and decision making is the other X factor. We've seen his decision making when it goes wrong. It goes really wrong, like the Iowa game, even the Rutgers game. Yep. I mean, all the games they won down the stretch, even Michigan State, Rutgers, those 2 games, Tommy made some really bad mistakes that if Nebraska wants to contend for the West title, wants to have a better year than 6 wins, he's going to have to erase that, because the facts are he led the nation in interceptions last year with 19? I mean, It was too many interceptions, and that has to get better, but he's no doubt the most important Husker for this 2016 season. Well, that wraps it up here for our top 40 list. Special thanks to videographer Greg Peterson as well for providing the video production for all these pieces. For Sean Callahan, Robin Washut, and Nate Klaus, that wraps it up here. Thanks for watching HuskerOnline.com.